Imagine waking up one morning and discovering that everything you thought you knew about human origins, religion, science, even God, was wrong. Not just a little wrong, but radically, cosmically, existentially wrong. In 1973, a French racecar magazine editor named Claude Vorilhon claimed he had such a revelation. According to him, he was contacted by a small, human-like alien near a volcanic crater in central France. This being introduced himself as Yahweh, not the biblical deity, but a member of an advanced alien race called the Elohim. And what Yahweh told him would become the foundation of one of the most controversial and fascinating UFO religions on Earth, the Raelian Movement. The Elohim, Yahweh said, are not gods, they are scientists, and they created life on Earth, not through divine power, but through advanced genetic engineering. Every prophet humanity has ever revered, Jesus, Buddha, and Muhammad, was, according to the Elohim, a hybrid messenger sent to guide us. And now, Claude Vorilhon, renamed Rael, was to become the final prophet, tasked with preparing humanity for the Elohim's return. This story isn't just about aliens, it's about cloning, cosmic diplomacy, sexual liberation, and a plan to build an embassy for extraterrestrial visitors. Welcome to the world of Raelism. Who are the Elohim? They're not gods, they're not spirits. According to Rael, the Elohim are flesh and blood extraterrestrials, advanced scientists from another planet who mastered genetic engineering hundreds of thousands of years ago. And they didn't just visit Earth, they terraformed it, seeded it, and created all life on it. Hebrew scholars translate Elohim as God in modern English Bibles. Elohim comes from the Canaanite word El, which means mighty one. Elohim is the third word in the Bible in its original Hebrew. Rael claims Elohim means those who came from the sky, and that it isn't a metaphor, it's literal. The Elohim arrived in flying machines, used DNA manipulation to create plants, animals, and eventually humans, and then guided our development through carefully chosen prophets. Each major religion, Rael claims, is a distorted echo of Elohim intervention. The burning bush, a hologram, the angel Gabriel, an Elohim envoy, the resurrection of Jesus, advanced cloning. Miracles were misunderstood technology, and the Elohim didn't want worship, they wanted to guide us. Rael described the Elohim as human, like but small, around 4 feet tall, and said they were beautiful, with an aura of peace and intelligence, and their faces were full of love. He said they live on a distant planet in a parallel dimension, which Rael never gave a name to, but he did say they also brought him to a second planet he called the Planet of the Eternals. Rael claims they've been watching us closely, but they won't return until we're ready, until we've embraced peace, science, and the truth about our origins. And apparently, that's where Rael comes in. The final prophet, Claude Vorilhon, wasn't a mystic or a priest. He was a motorsport journalist with a love for fast cars, but everything changed on December 13, 1973, when he drove to a volcanic park near Clermont-Ferrand, France, and allegedly met an extraterrestrial. The being who appeared to him was about 4 feet tall, with long dark hair and black beard, almond-shaped eyes, pale white skin with a green tinge, and an aura of serene intelligence. He called himself Yahweh, and he claimed to be one of the Elohim, the creators of humanity. For 6 consecutive days, Yahweh shared revelations that would become the backbone of Rael's mission. Rael was told that Earth's religions were misinterpretations of Elohim interventions, that humanity was created through DNA engineering, that prophets like Jesus and Buddha were Elohim hybrids, and that now, in the age of science, it was time to reveal the truth. Yahweh gave Claude Vorilhon his new name, Rael, meaning light of the Elohim. He was to become the final messenger, tasked with preparing humanity for the Elohim's return. But this wasn't about salvation, it was about readiness. The Elohim would only return when humanity had embraced peace, rejected war, and built an official embassy to welcome them. Rael began writing. His first book, the book which tells the truth, laid out the Elohim's message. He founded the Raelian Movement, a global organization dedicated to spreading the truth about our alien creators. And he began recruiting followers, not through fear or guilt, but through science, sensuality, and cosmic purpose. Though Raelian philosophy, forget guilt, forget sin, forget divine punishment, Raelism isn't about worship, it's about awakening. At its core, the Raelian philosophy is a radical fusion of science, sensuality, and cosmic diplomacy. First, science. Raelians believe that technological progress is sacred. The Elohim are scientists, not spiritual beings, and they want humanity to follow in their footsteps. That means embracing cloning, artificial intelligence, and genetic engineering. In fact, the Raelian Movement founded Cloned in 1997, a biotech company that claimed to have produced the first human clone, named Eve, in 2002. Though never verified, the claim sparked global controversy and put Raelians on the map. Second, sensuality. Rael teaches that pleasure is divine. Sexual freedom, body positivity, and emotional liberation are central to the movement. They promote sensual meditation as a way to connect with the Elohim's energy and transcend societal repression. It's not just about sex. It's about joy, connection, and universal harmony. And third, the Embassy Project. Raelians believe the Elohim will return to Earth, but only if we build them a proper welcome center. Not a temple, not a church, an embassy, complete with landing pads, diplomatic protocols, and neutral territory. They've even tried to negotiate with governments to build it in Israel, near Jerusalem, where the Elohim allegedly first made contact with ancient humans. So far, no luck, but the plan remains active. Raelism isn't just a belief system, it's a blueprint for a future where science replaces superstition, pleasure replaces guilt, and aliens replace gods. Criticisms of Raelism. No movement that claims aliens created humanity is going to fly under the radar, and Raelism, it's been a lightning rod for controversy since day one. Let's start with cloning. In 2002, the Raelian-affiliated biotech company Cloned announced the birth of Eve, the first cloned human. The claim was never independently verified, and scientists worldwide dismissed it as pseudoscience. But the media frenzy was real. Overnight, Raelism went from fringe UFO cult to headline-grabbing spectacle. Then there's the sensuality. Raelians promote sexual freedom as a path to enlightenment, which has led to accusations of hedonism and cult-like behavior. They host Raelian angels, women who volunteer to greet the Elohim with love and sensuality, and advocate for open relationships, body positivity, and the removal of sexual taboos. Critics call it exploitative. Raelians call it liberation. Politically, the movement has stirred tension by challenging religious orthodoxy and lobbying for the construction of an alien embassy in Jerusalem. Governments have refused, citing security concerns and diplomatic absurdity. But Raelians persist, even proposing alternate sites in neutral countries. Despite the backlash, Raelism has spread globally. The movement claims tens of thousands of members across more than 80 countries. They hold annual gatherings, wear symbolic medallions, and organize campaigns for peace, science, and human rights, including advocating for the banning of nuclear weapons and promoting genetically modified food as the solution to world hunger. To outsiders, it's bizarre. To insiders, it's a cosmic truth waiting to be embraced. The message for humanity. So, what do the Elohim want from us? Not worship, not sacrifice, not blind obedience. According to Rael, the Elohim's message is simple. Evolve. Emotionally, intellectually, technologically. They created us not to be slaves or disciples, but to become creators ourselves. To reach a level of peace and scientific mastery that allows us to join the interstellar community. Raelians believe humanity is at a crossroads. One path leads to war, environmental collapse, and extinction. The other leads to enlightenment, cloning, space travel, and contact. The Elohim are watching, waiting for us to choose. And when we do, when we build the embassy, embrace peace, and reject superstition, they will return, not as conquerors, but as family. The movement's future is ambitious. Raelians continue to push for the embassy, advocate for scientific progress, and promote a global shift toward joy, freedom, and cosmic awareness. They envision a world without borders, without religion, without violence, a world where humans become creators, just like the Elohim. Whether you see it as prophecy, science fiction, or spiritual rebellion, Raelism offers a provocative lens on human existence. It asks, what if the gods were scientists? What if the prophets were hybrids? And what if the truth has been waiting in the stars all along, watching and waiting? The Elohim may not have landed yet, but for thousands of Raelians around the world, the countdown has already begun. Rituals and symbols. If Raelism is a cosmic philosophy, then its rituals are the tuning fork, meant to harmonize the human soul with the frequency of the Elohim. Let's start with the most sacred rite, the transmission of the cellular plan. This isn't baptism, it's a symbolic act where a Raelian guide places water on the forehead of a new member, transmitting their genetic identity to the Elohim's supercomputers. According to Rael, this ritual ensures that the Elohim recognize the individual when they return. It's performed annually on 4 key dates, each honoring a prophet's birth, including Rael himself. Then there's sensual meditation. This isn't just relaxation. It's a spiritual exercise designed to awaken the body's energy centers and connect with the Elohim's vibrational field. Practitioners visualize light, love, and cosmic unity, often in group settings. It's part mindfulness, part erotic transcendence, and fully Raelian. Raelians also celebrate the Day of Creation on the first Sunday of April every year, marking the Elohim's initial seeding of life on Earth. It's a time for reflection, joy, and recommitment to the movement's ideals. No fasting, no guilt, just gratitude for existence and the pursuit of enlightenment. Now, the symbols. The most iconic is the Raelian emblem. It was a 6-pointed Star of David, intertwined with a swirling spiral, originally a swastika, later replaced due to controversy. If my information is correct, they've gone back to using a right-facing swastika again. The star represents the Elohim's role in ancient religions. The spiral, or swastika, symbolizes infinity and the cyclical nature of life. It's worn as a medallion by initiated members and displayed at gatherings. Raelians also use color-coded attire to denote roles within the movement. Guides, initiates, and Raelian angels each have distinct visual identities, but the real uniform is the mind, open, curious, and tuned to the stars. Raelism comparisons. Raelism isn't the only belief system that looks to the stars for answers, but it's one of the boldest. To understand its place in the broader landscape, we need to zoom out and explore the strange constellation of UFO religions and cosmic mythologies that have emerged over the last century. It started in the 1940s and 50s, when flying saucers became cultural icons and contactees claimed to receive messages from benevolent space brothers. Groups like the Aetherius Society and the followers of George Adamski blended Eastern mysticism with interplanetary wisdom, but Raelism took it further, replacing vague spiritualism with a detailed scientific origin story. Unlike New Age movements that speak of ascension and light beings, Raelism insists on materialism. The Elohim are not ethereal, they're biological. Their ships are not metaphors, they're machines, and their message isn't about transcendence. It's about evolution through technology. Raelism also diverges from ancient astronaut theories popularized by authors like Erich von Däniken. While those theories suggest aliens influenced ancient civilizations, Raelism claims aliens created us entirely. It's not intervention, it's authorship. Symbolically, Raelism echoes mythic structures: a chosen prophet, a divine council, a coming apocalypse, or in this case, a cosmic reunion. But it replaces gods with engineers, miracles with science, and salvation with cloning and diplomacy. In the tapestry of UFO religions, Raelism stands out as a hyper-modern example: sleek, sensual, and boldly scientific. It's not just a belief system, it's a blueprint for a post-religious, post-human future, Like and subscribe for more videos like this, and comment with what you believe the truth of our existence is.